The conspiracy theorists will be unleashed, coming out from their paranoid underbrush now that the Kennedy archives have been partially released. And so the Warren Commission will be disputed, and Lee Harvey Oswald will be seen to be part of a vast international conspiracy to assassinate the president, and the fantasies will proliferate. It's fascinating that the same week that the Kennedy archives emerge, there's a report at the United Nations of the death of Dag Hammarskjold. Dag Hammarskjold was undoubtedly the finest Secretary General the UN has ever had. His tenure was from 1953 to 1961, when he was killed in a plane crash. Now, until this day, the plane crash, which occurred in Zambia, what was then the border between northern Rhodesia and the Congo, because Hammarskjold was on his way to treat for peace between warring parties in the Congo. Until now, the plane crash has always been seen to be pretty well an accident. A lot of rumors, but still an accident. And now great questions have been raised, and it looks as though Hammarskjold may have been assassinated. If you want to look for more confirmation of that, think of a few months earlier in 1961, when Patrice Lumumba, the president of the Congo, Prime Minister of the Congo, I guess, was killed by a firing squad in a breakaway province. Now, Lumumba was at ideological war with the United States throughout, and everybody assumes, I think most people know, that the CIA orchestrated his assassination. Of course, if you think Donald Trump is mentally ill, the entire security apparatus of the United States was mentally ill through the 1960s, as the CIA killed everyone they could lay their hands on. Well, you move a little later in the 1960s, and in 1969, Tom Mboya, the remarkable Kenyan politician, was assassinated as he left his home, assassinated by a chemist, and it was thought to be a kind of random personal grudge, which then morphed into an obvious political assassination. Fast forward to 1986, and the president of Mozambique, the very famous Samora Machel, a first-rate president, was killed in a plane crash on the border of Mozambique and South Africa. Now, everyone knows that the South African government shot down the plane to get rid of Samora Machel because Mozambique was one of the frontline states fighting apartheid. And then, of course, you have April the 6th, 1994, when the president of Rwanda died in a plane crash approaching the capital of Kigali. No one knows who shot the plane down, but the genocide immediately followed. Thus you have it, from conspiracy theories to genocide. The character of assassinations shapes the history of the world, and certainly of Africa. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.